Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Xander520, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Ages. In the last episode, we completed the Mermaid's Cave, and we then were informed that Queen Ambi had left the palace, enabling us to sneak in and rescue Nehru from the clutches of Varan's possession. However, the Queen returned at the most inopportune time, and she herself became possessed by Varan. However, with Nehru's power, we returned to the present and spoke with the Maku tree, who told us the next essence is inside of fish. Before leaving, however, Nehru managed to give us the knowledge of the Tune of Ages, which allows us to switch back and forth between the past and the present freely, so long as we can actually stand in the spot. And in this episode, we are here in Zora Village, after having used the Tune of Ages to make our way to this area. Now, King Zora is apparently very sick. Also, Gale Tree. And we need to find a way to help him. Well, as it so happens, well, first of all, let's come down here and plant a seed on this patch of soil, because we're still looking for that heart piece. So over here, take a look over here. Very nice. Can I come down here? Is there anything over here? Oh, hi. Don't think us noble sea Zora is the same as those savage, vulgar river Zoras. Yeah, I was talking about that. Anyway, what we need to do is actually warp back to Linda Village and make it the present as well. Because the solution to our problem actually lies with somebody we haven't met yet, and you wouldn't think this is the answer to the problem. Oh, also, I need to speak with Dippity-Doo up here. Because we have all the mystical seeds, we can now talk to Tingle. Tingle would tell us that we need to return to him once we found many mystical seeds. What's this? Look at all the mystical seeds you've gathered. Tingle the fairy can make it so your satchel can carry more seeds. Shall I? Yes. Very well. Then Tingle shall work his magic. Close your eyes. Tingle, tingle, Kululimpa! Your seed satchel can now carry more seeds. Well, thanks, Tingle. Now we have a maximum of 50 seeds. So now we don't have to worry about running out anymore. Anyway, the solution to our problem actually lies over here in the Yoll Graveyard. Do you perchance remember that strange tree house that we ran into in this area? Also, did I plant a seed over here? I did not. Oh, that's fine. I also need to get a little more money, because I think we need 300 rupees for this. So we're going to diggy hole here for a little bit. Occasionally, very rarely, you can actually dig up 100 rupees. And that's actually what I ended up doing in my catch-up playthrough off-screen. I ended up doing a lot of digging to try and buy back the stuff that I needed to get. And I ended up digging up a 300 or a 100 rupee gem. It's a rare occurrence, but it does happen. Can I please get more stuff? Please. Do I have a ring? I do not. Oh, there it is! That's the 100 rupee. Anyway, we come in here, and this is actually what we need. Magic potion, 300 rupees each. That's Syrup's magic ointment. Works great when your hearts run out. You got a magic potion. It kicks in when you run out of hearts. So this is essentially a one-up. That is what its intentional use is. However, in this game, not seasons, but ages, if you bring a magic potion to King Zora of the past, it will actually cure him of his ailment. It uses up the magic potion, but this is actually required. The pain. This is the end for me. To think the prosperous royal family could fade in a generation. The pain. Give him the magic potion? Yeah. Is this magic potion? It looks very suspect, but if I am to die, it can't hurt to drink it. Glug, glug. Ah. Yeah, it's awful. But it flows through me. The royal line is saved. Who are you? Well, thank you, Link. The filthy water that flowed in from the east lately must have made me ill. I will never forget you. What do you wish for, Link? Huh? A big fish? You mean Jabu-Jabu? But Jabu-Jabu is the guardian of us Zoras. Calling him a fish is an insult. What's your language? Well, he is also very small. If we come over here, this is Jabu-Jabu. He's so tiny. Whoop, whoop. He's adorable. However, if we go to the present... I'm just ahead. If we go to the present, King Zora is now alive. Because he survived his trial. And the Zoras are still in here. Great healer! What do you ask? You wish to enter Jabu-Jabu? My permission is needed to enter Jabu-Jabu, but I can't permit just anyone to see our guardian. Anyhow, the filthy seawater has left Jabu-Jabu near death. You say you must, then find a way to get rid of this filthy seawater and save Jabu-Jabu. Will you accept this quest? Yes. Very well, then take this. You got the library key. This is the key to Eyeglass Island Library east of here. It is an ancient library, so I do not know if this key still works. But perhaps you can research why the seawater is so filthy. I trust you to save Jabu-Jabu. Yes, well, as we saw, the lock on the library is not in existence in the present. We come over here. The key, in fact, will not work on the library. But if we go back to the past, the lock is still intact. And we can open this door. But before we do anything in here, we need to return to the future. Actually, I think we may actually need to... This is the Book of Seals. It was once part of a set, but now only this one remains. How they were used is an eternal puzzle. You say you can solve the riddle of this book? Ho ho! This should be interesting. I give to you the Book of Seals. You got the Book of Seals. Wrong seal. So, now we need to return to the past. We needed this book for one very simple reason. And it will become very apparent what we needed this book for. Because in the past, well, in the present, you may have noticed there were a bunch of people inside the library. Zoras, men. But in the past, it's all the old men. This is the Eyeglass Island Library. Fairy powder is said to be stored in the back, but I've yet to see it. It's all these old sages. Fairy powder is locked away in the back, but without another book of seals, no one can reach the powder. By the way, what is fairy powder? There's a book missing. This whole area is whole until you put the book of seals here. And it'll give you instructions on how to get there. 4, 2, 2. And now when you open the next book, the previous instructions go away. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. 2, 1, 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. Ugh. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Bleh. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. You have done well to make it so far. I acknowledge your courage and offer you this. You got fairy powder. It removes curses. Continue on without fear. Do not forget your courage. And he warps us out of the back room. But we now have fairy powder. And fairy powder is what we need to cure the fairy over here. You brought me fairy powder. Now I can return to normal. Sprinkle the powder on me. Well, sure enough. Thank you, young one. Now I can cleanse the seas of evil. And the great fairy power enables the poison to be drawn away from the water. All of it. From the past to the present. The seas are now clean. Perfect. Now we can return to the present. However, before we do so, if you go and talk to King Zora, now that you've cleaned the water, you have even given us clean seas again. I must thank you once more. What? You wish you entered Jabu-Jabu? I wish I could tell you to do as you please, but Jabu-Jabu is still young. He's too small to go inside him. You'd better give up. No, I don't think I will. Instead, I'll just make him grow up. The seas are now clean. We don't have to worry about that happening anymore. And we can return to the present. Now, before we go to see Lord Jabu-Jabu, one thing we're going to do is come up here and open this chest, which contains a ring. Now we're going to come over here, dive here, and enter the palace. Thanks to you, our seawater is clean again, and Jabu-Jabu's health has returned. All is well. I never go back on my word. I dub you Zora Hero and permit you to enter Jabu-Jabu. You may go see Jabu-Jabu. So, Lord Jabu-Jabu has grown up a bit since we saw him last. Before, he was a small fish. Now, however, he's a, well, he's a rather large fish. And he graciously opens his mouth for us to enter. Level 7, Jabu-Jabu's Belly. This partially added to my confusion for that guidebook that I mentioned before, in that Jabu-Jabu's Belly is also a level in Ocarina of Time. Anyway, in order to get this key, what we need to do is we need to put these blocks in front of each of these statues. And we're already off to the races. These yellow spots are going to be important for you to pay attention to because they signify where you're able to come up out of the water. Crab people. Where are these crabs? I think there's a chest in here. Yep, I think this is the map. Yep, it's the map. Alright, so what have we got? We have 3 floors. 1, 2, 3, and he looks like a fish. Well, I guess that makes sense, considering he is a fish. We have this room, which we can't do anything with underwater. We've got some iron masks. Don't know if we've seen these enemies yet. The iron masks are invulnerable from the front and from the sides. In order to deal with them, you actually have to hit them from behind. There's also this pincer. And yes, that's actually what it's called. It's called a pincer. They hide in holes, or in this case, water areas. Come up here. These stairs. We got a mini mold orm. More iron masks. The way to get rid of the iron masks is to use the switch hook. If somehow you manage to hit an iron mask from behind with the switch hook, you'll just switch places with it. This guy. Or that guy. Hate those things. Come up in here. And this is literally the water temple from Ocarina of Time. The red switches drain out all the water. The blue switches bring the water level up. You can only hit one of the blue switches at a time. One of them brings it up one level, the other one brings it up the other level. Or up 2 levels, I should say. Anyway, we can come down here and find out there's a pot on this floating platform. That floating this platform over here, the yellow one, ooh, it's a ring. This floats on top of the water. Anytime you see something like that, you'll know that it belongs on top of the water. Sometimes you want them on the ground, sometimes you want them up. Is that a small key? Can't remember. Anyway, we can come over here and put a Command of Samaria block on the switch to open the door. Later on, we're going to need to come in here when the water's all the way up. Can't do anything there. But we can come up here. Explore this place a little bit. Our ultimate goal is to get the water all the way to the top, at its highest point. But to do that, it's a little bit trickier than you would think. Oh, and these sparks, if you hit them with your boomerang, whoopsie, they turn into fairies. Which is very useful if you need a fairy. Okay, come through this weird room. avoid the anti-fairies. Up here. Get rid of you. And down here. And in order to get that chest up there, we need a floating platform in there. This dungeon, I'm going to be honest, is probably going to take me a little longer to figure out. If only because it's so convoluted. I do not remember how to solve all the puzzles here. But I can tell you that this is the door that leads into this first blue button. And in order to get to the other blue button, we are going to need one key and the dungeon item, which will let us cross that gap up there. So, now that we have the water level raised, and we're on this side of the dungeon, let's have a look around. Note that this is the level the water is at when you start the dungeon. So there should be water here, and there is, and we can now get into this room, which contains a bunch of mini Moldorms. And will give us a key. What's down here? Anything? Ah, this room. So this room is now sunken. There's gonna be a pincer in there somewhere. Crabs. Zoles. There's our boss room. The entire dungeon is going to have to be flooded in order to get to it. We're now up here. Is there anything else we could do over here? Possibly. Can I get up here? Yes. Which means we can now get into this room. But this room, we need the entire place to be flooded to get into that. Alright. So, we're done on this floor for now. So, it's time to go back underwater. Kill all the enemies in this room, and chest appears containing the compass. And up here, we can't do anything with this room now. I am struggling to figure out where I need to go now. That's gonna break because it's over a hole. You can't push blocks when you're underwater. That's why we had to get that now. Oh, and this is now floating so we can get to the staircase underneath it. Take care of these cheaps with our switch hook. Oh, wait a minute. We can't do anything here. Because our switch hook is not long enough to reach that pot. So we need to find the dungeon item. I don't remember where it is. This is the one dungeon that escapes my memory every time. I do not remember how to solve this dungeon. Only one I don't remember how to solve. This is a problem. Well, we've got a key. Let's see if there's something we can do with this key. Can't do anything in here. Wait. Wait a minute, we can come in here. Can we get rid of this guy. Let me get rid of that guy. Let's get rid of this guy over here. So he's done being electric. Okay, that door does not open. That's a one-way door. Now, the water has to be drained out for us to use this room, I think. Hang on, let me see if I can figure out a way to get to that room with the water drained out. I think I can. Because we drained out the water and then immediately put it back in. And the drain button's just over here. Right here. Yeah, this is the drain button right here. So, I should be able to just come down the stairs and go out the left door. I think I went out the bottom door the last time. In here. Oops. Wait a minute. Gotta past those guys. Now you can see these holes are open, because there's no water in them. Here. And now this is empty. Where are these guys? Yeah, that door does not open. How do you get in there, though? It's gotta be a staircase. It's gotta be an underground staircase somewhere. It might be this one, now that I think about it. But I have to figure out a way to get... Apparently there's a chest up here? Okay, does this open this door? No, it doesn't. That's a one-way door. Alright. Coming up here. Oh! Gotcha. Okay. I need to get in here with the water up. Alright, so that shouldn't be too difficult. All I have to do is come up here. Get past the anti-fairy. Cross this room with my switch hook. Wait for that guy. Go up these stairs. It is too late for me to trying to solve dungeon puzzles like this. It is like almost 4 in the morning. Alright, push the button. Okay, water came in. Now I need to go back down the stairs. Across this room. I would like a fairy, please. Go with these guys. Alright, and then I go this way, down, and then this way. Hop down here. And now I can access not only this chest with the gaseous seed, but this staircase which leads me down here. Drop down here. Come in here. And mini boss, the anglerfish. Easy to take care of him. Just shoot him. Down. There he goes. Super easy to deal with him. Just pop him with a scent seed and then just go to town on his little antenna. And we can get in here. And this should be the long switch. Switch places with objects from a distance. This is the level 2 switch hook. It is essentially the long shot. But we're out of time. So, next time in The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, we're going to finish this dungeon now that we have the long shot. Till then, this is Xana520 signing out.